Dom Linkichi Blink, welcome to another Welcome to the show. Hope you guys are doing well because I'm having a wonderful day on this 15 December 2024. Then we're doing a special video. As you can see during the last couple of weeks, right? It's actually like a long ass video. So sit down, have a seat. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be something I hope you like. Sorry, we're filming the sunset. So take a seat, grab a drink, grab a snack. We're gonna be eating Pringles, Mingles. I'm gonna be drinking Bang Peach Mango. No sponsors, but who knows? Maybe one down the line. So the song about the video today is about Guardin. Who is Guardin? Guardin is an emo rap artist that really helped me out. It's weird. He's been helping me out a lot. And I did videos on Nothing Nowhere, because Nothing Nowhere was really there for me when I needed him. Joe. Then I did videos about Falling in Reverse, which were really there for me, but I never did videos about Guardin, which deserve a video on its own. So we have to go way back. We have to go back to a young 20 years old Ink. 20 years old Ink would go to the apartment, didn't have a lot going on. Was just working. I was working for two companies and the apartments, and it was fun because it was my first, like, okay, well, guess what? We're gonna be really pushing for work, and I could take a little break. So took a little break. At the age of 22, I had the perfect life. I had the it was fucking amazing, so amazing, because my life was basically we're working in this part-time job, and we still have cash from the time we worked a lot. We still have a good salary because yes, we're working part-time and we're working in a not a prestigious estate, but there's good tips, right? And I'm like, I had these best friends. I have this really cool crew of people, and I had this girlfriend, and she wasn't my first girlfriend. She wasn't my first fuck. Sorry to be crude. That I'm a dude. Sorry to be crude, but I'm a dude. She wasn't my first fuck, and she wasn't my first fuck, but it was the first time where I felt like I was in a relationship where we both love each other. It was my first time being in a relationship where I could see myself in the in the long term. So I'm going to be talking about sex. So if you're a minor, please leave. I will not be responsible for your depravity in about 24 days. See, it's gonna be, it doesn't have anything to do with Guardin. There's gonna be a long intro before we get to Guardin, I'm telling you. So if you don't like yapping, this is not a video for you. This is a minimum of a 20-30 minutes video. So long story short, we had this young guy named Ink Vendetta a long time ago in a galaxy far away. Naboo was under attack, but I thought me and Qui-Gon Jinn could tell the Federation in to make cutting demo. Little slack. If you got the reference for that, you're a fucking legend. And Lil Ink didn't know what he wanted. Lil Ink was being told what to do. Lil Ink was not necessarily being controlled, but very much so not. I'm looking for the word that is appropriate for what we're trying to say here. Lil Ink was very much, you tell me to do something, I'll do it. I won't question you how. I come from a strict background, a very strict parenthood, where if you don't do what we're saying, it's slap. So I stopped asking myself why I want to do it. I just have to do it. I'm gonna do it. So young Ink in apartment had to find himself, and young Ink was very frivolous. Thanks to a show called Penny versus Kenny, where my idol was Kenny Hotz, which was the guy who taught me that. It was okay to take shortcuts. It was okay to cheat a little bit, not cheat in a romantic sense of the term, but cheat in life to get what you want. Because at the end of the day, all that matters is that you survive another day. And so I had a perfect life. And where am I going with that is actually quite sad. Is before Leia, which was the girlfriend I had at 22. 22, can you do some for me? I used to have dates. But it was more so, it's a situationship. It's just fucking. There's no love. There's not real love here. With Leia, it was really I'm in love with that girl, right? And it's funny because this was my first it wasn't my before the apartment I never had a girlfriend, right? So this was my first girlfriend, not necessarily a fuck friend. And it's funny because I would pretend like I'm in a relationship with a girl so I could fuck, and I would just leave. So in the same month, my best friend at work committed unalive himself due to various things. But basically, he was a immigrant and he was very successful. His parents sacrificed a lot out of him. And it's funny because we had another friend called Lubiora Mira. I'm not saying the word. I'm not saying the name right, but fuck it. It's been a while. And she was also telling me. And see, we're taking a lot of detour, but at the same time, it's part of the journey to Guardin, which is one of the most important, if not the most important person in my life during the last month. So Lubio Mira was always telling me, hey, she was also a romantic interest, but it never happened. She was also telling me like, hey, she's an immigrant, and she was also telling me that her parents sacrificed a lot for her to go here. They work shitty jobs so she could have a future, and there's this pressure that comes with it, right? So my best friend was like, dude, my parents wants to be a doctor, and the worst thing is he was Asian, not Asian, but Asian, IT. And he would receive letter from his cousin and his uncle saying, "Oh, you're gonna be such a good doctor." The guy didn't want to be a doctor, right? They imposed upon him, and he unalived himself. Now I became very sad. I became very, very rude, very crude. I became in my emotion that I never really learned how to manage. Emotion that I never really never really learned to deal with. Because most of my childhood, and I'm not playing the victim. I'm not victimizing myself. I'm not villainizing the society. But all my childhood, since the age of freaking 7 years old till the age of 18, right? I was under a lot of medication, a lot of it. Concerta, Ritalin, lots of it, and it plays a role in the fact that those are kind of emotion blocker. So you're more focused on living something. You're a fucking zombie. I'll tell you the truth. Back then I wouldn't eat, I wouldn't sleep, I wouldn't feel a lot. And I remember spending entire days but I don't know what happened. I have no memories of that. I have no memories at all. Like, what the fuck happened, right? And I'm kind of blaming the medication, but then again, that's life. So I think with this emotion I became aggressive. Now I never hit her. I'm gonna do you guys a little bit of a Tommy Weasel, which is the disaster artist. I did not hit her. Oh, hi Mark. And I was rude to Leia. I was really rude. I was a dick to her. I started doing drugs, which wasn't cool, because she was stopping. She was trying to stop doing drugs. Now she never did a hard drug, but she was smoking a lot of weed, and she was like, I feel like if she was telling me like how she felt like if she didn't smoke, she wasn't herself, which became a kind of problem. And she was trying to stop, and I was doing drugs in front of her, which wasn't very caring on my part. So she broke up with me. So in the space of a month, right? In the space of a month, I lost my best friend. I lost my baby. I lost my friend. I lost my baby. I lost my darling. I lost my friend. I lost my mind. Could feel the Jamie. A little bit of Jean Leloup because we're French Canadian. Hello. So yeah, so it was very trying for me, and exactly what happened is actually super simple. At 20 years old, at 19 years old, I had a year-long sabbatic from school and from work, and of course you need that social aspect, right? So you go on Facebook every single day. And because you go on Facebook every single day, you're kind of there for people, right? You're kind of there for people. So when I lost my best friend and when I lost my baby, I was like, yo, I was there for people. They'll be there for me, right? But nobody gave a shit. So I felt in depression. And for a long time, for at least a year, I would blame my ex for the way I was feeling, because I was like, dude, I was in love with her. I didn't even blame the guy who unalived himself, even though it was a combination of the both. See, most of my friends, we're talking about Shao, we're talking about Carl, we're talking about DZ. Most of my friends are going to be very calm compared to me. So I'm the extroverted, I'm the guy that needs to talk, I'm the guy that goes out. And these people are more reserved, are more appreciative, they're more, I would say in control. And they're kind of like a nice balance that's going on, which balance bring you a stability bring you a stable environment. So I lost my stable environment, and I realized that nobody was there for me. So now we're going into the core of the subject. We're going into the very, very core of the subject. I found the band. I found a band at A&W, which I was 21 years old. I found the band Falling in Reverse, and I completely fell in love with Falling in Reverse because I relate a lot to Ronnie Radke. Maybe right now I wouldn't relate to him because there's a lot of negative emotion that are coming from the guy. Not that he's an asshole, right? But people fuck with him, and he's fucking back. And I get that, but you're also a role model, and you save a lot of people. So see, Ronnie Radke, one of my favorite people. Like, honestly speaking, Ronnie Radke is one of my role model and has been one of my role model for the last 10 years. Ronnie Radke is charismatic. He's funny. He's a bit out there. See, when I was young, when I was in high school, people were listening to rap, right? And I don't know if I was a fan of rap, but I would listen to it because of it. And for some reason, I was smitten, which is a really cool word for me. I think I deserve a pat in the back, or at least a like. Well, you decide. Who am I to ask? And I was smitten with Eminem because he was funny. He wasn't talking about drugs. He wasn't talking about bitches. He wasn't talking about money. He was just making jokes. Especially Stan or especially Slim Shady was very funny. And so with Ronnie, it's funny because before this depression, because at 22 I fell into depression, again, due to people not being there, again, due to my best friend unalive himself, again, due to losing my baby. I'm gonna sound like an asshole. When I say losing my baby, I'm not talking about a literal child. I'm talking about a song that most people don't know, so go figure. I lost my girlfriend. I lost the love of my life, or the LOML. Let's be like Gen Z, or let's be like cool and hip. And Ronnie, it's funny because I discovered Falling in Reverse, and the mindset, which is super important. The mindset, which is, it's one of the leading force in how you feel. I discovered Falling in Reverse when I was at a happy time, and the song that I was listening to, I would listen to songs like I'm Not a Vampire or Good Girls Gone Bad. I would listen to Fashionably Late. I would listen to Judge Wrong and Me Is You. I would listen to Game Over, which was really good. Keep Holding On. Can't believe I made it this far. And it was those songs. So when I fell into depression, even Fuck the Rest was one of my favorite songs. When I fell into depression, I started listening to a song like kind of like a Fly, Stay Away, School Is In, God If You're Above, The Departure, God If You Are Above, I Fear. I remember listening to God If You're Above, be in my bathtub fucking crying, right? In my bathtub crying. And I was like, holy shit. This literally changed me, dude. And I was listening to Pick Up the Phone, which is one of my favorite songs. But again, Ronnie was abandoned by his mom when he was younger, which he blames that for the fact that he's not able to have stable relationship with women, right? So he's this eternal romantic, but not able to have healthy relationship because of that. Now he's older. Now he's stronger. He's alive. He's believe me, I'm winning, I'm happy, I'm failing. Faster, faster, I'm on my way. Traitor, this disaster, I can truly say. Safer, I know in my heart that we beat from the starts. From the rest. So just say fuck the rest, which was one of the songs. But it's also songs like, for him to be really sad, it was also song like, Not Good Enough for Truth and Cliche. Sitting in a room with my thing, spinning in a room, my dear Juliet. Finger on trigger ching, my dear Juliet. Something I cannot forget. And it was, Falling in Reverse was a leading force for me. It was a fucking leading force, and I know it's a video about Guardin, but Falling in Reverse is one of the leading matter that brings me years and years and years and years and years later until Guardin. I told you that was going to be a long video. You were aware, you were warned, now you're stuck with it. The Falling in Reverse actually comes in from a very different place in my mind. So, when I was a teen, when I was a young boy, my father, and I would go to the gym a lot. It was my only social aspect, but I loved it. And in the gym, there were a lot of songs, and they were catchy. We're talking about Katy Perry, E.T. We're talking about the. I finished school in what? I finished school in 2005 to 2011. Okay. Oh, 2011. Where? And yeah, those songs weren't a song that was catchy. Weren't something that I disliked, but it wasn't a song that I fell in love with, narratively speaking, or even musically speaking. So I discovered there was a Screamo remix. Now the funny thing is, I can't believe I'm going to talk about this, but when in Rome, let's do it as the Roman. I had a crush on Kesha, but a huge crush, and it was beautiful because I feel like she could understand the pain. I was a sad child. I was a sad teenager. And Kesha was doing a video, and she was like me. She was a bit crazy. She was a life of the party, right? But she hid a lot of pain, and also she would do song like love song, but it was really really catchy. So I was this kid who was almost ashamed of listening to Kesha because people would know that I would call me the S-slur. It was the 90s. 90s were different, bro. If you listen to a chick singing, you're a faggot, right? Nowadays it's not the case, but back then you would be called a F-slur the whole time. So I figured out a way around the system. And the way around the system was, can I get a drum roll, please? The drum roll, I would figure out nightcore or even pop goes punk. So I would listen to the same song but scream though. Scream or growl or played by metal artists like Miski Surrender, like Ice Nine Kill with Animals, which one of my favorite band, Ice Nine Kill, Ink Vendetta, Ink Ice Nine Kill. Just saying this, there's possibly a related thing, possibly. Up to you to decide. And the nicest thing that happened was, you see, those were the band I would listen to, and those were the band that I truly fell in love with. But there was another band, and that other band I think is also a very leading source of why I was the way I am, and it's Hollywood Undead. We're talking about Swan Song. We're talking about American Tragedy, which was one of my favorite album, and then they lost Deuce. There was a fight with Deuce, and then I stopped listening to them because not because I was a fan of Deuce, but because it was too much of a change. They did some electro music, and I'm like, what the fuck am I listening to? But the reason why Hollywood Undead is so important is because Hollywood Undead was rapping rock, metal. It was a mix, right? And then I fell in love with those, with them, but they only had in my mind 2 good albums. So I was like, okay. And it was actually thanks to Carl Dubois, one of my best friend, right? Best friend from high school. And Carl Dubois, we spent like a day together. We went to gym, we went to eat. It was a really nice day. And then the truck, I remember in the car, I remember being stuck in traffic, and then he had an album, and it was Fast, Figure Than Punch, and it was the album Far From Home. And we would listen to the whole album, and it changed my fucking life. I started really listening to Fast, Figure Than Punch. Again, Five Finger Death Punch was possibly a band that I listened to for a year and a half. The problem with Five Finger Death Punch was I did nothing. I was doing nothing. I was my father was like, hey, you need to go out. You need to explore the world. Explore the world. What do you fucking mean? You think I'm gonna learn about life going on a bicycle? No, but I was his mentality, so I respect it. So for 2 hours every day, I would listen to Five Finger Death Punch. No, Five Finger Death Punch was one of my favorite bands. I love song. Talking about the Calm Down, Never Enough, talk about The Bleeding, which was phenomenal, Far From Home, Bad Company, Fall, Wrong Side of Heaven, forgetting one of my favorite, but I don't remember. Oh, the Pride, which I said already. This is my time to shine, Under and Over It, which was fucking phenomenal. And the problem with Five Finger Death Punch was that there was every single song there was a guitar solo. So the guitar solo is really, really good. But once you listen to the song 5 times in a row, you learn that the solo is kind of like, holy shit. And the bad thing about Five Finger Death Punch was they were doing 2 minutes and a half video, but about 40 seconds of that video was a single. It was a guitar solo, and like, ugh. So I kind of gave up on them. So this led me to rock and roll. This led me to System of a Down, believe it or not. Believe me or not, System of a Down was a band that I listened to for a long ass time. They were doing songs. System of a Down was this weird band. You remember I told you that I loved Eminem and I loved Ronnie Radke because they were funny? System of a Down was the same way, but it was annoying. System of a Down was a band that I could truly listen to, and I was like, holy shit. So it's kind of a funny story, right? I had the songs, and I was a very easy child. A couple of songs, and I'm happy. So of course we're listening to Toxicity. Of course, Radio killed their video. I would listen to B.I.O.B. I would listen to Chop Suey. I would listen to Mesmerize, Spider, Ariel, Dear Dance, Sad Statue, Soil, Shimmer, Cigaro, Banakota Pie, Prison Song, which was phenomenal. The problem with YEIOU, Atwa, which was great. The problem with System of a Down was they were very political, and I was like, holy shit, I'm actually learning about life. I'm actually learning about society. The problem with them was they would do like funny song and like, okay, well, they're not serious here. They're completely insane, right? And then you realize that you're like, holy shit, am I is this serious subject that they're talking about serious, or they kind of lost credibility in my eyes as a rock band. So I would kind of move along, and System of a Down ultimately led me to listen to Screamo, which ultimately led me to listen to Falling in Reverse. Now, Falling in Reverse was this great band because it wasn't necessarily metal. Falling in Reverse was picture perfect, my style of music, was a very clean, clear verse. So they're the first verse or second verse, and the chorus was a bit screamed, so I kind of like that. Falling in Reverse, the problem with Falling in Reverse was I listened to it pre-depression, and the Falling in Reverse, when I felt the depression, I was like, okay, this is a band for me, right? It helped me a lot. But then I found out that most of the song were blaming I thought of the person like a love interest, like his mom or his girlfriend, right? Even one of my favorite songs, which is Bad Girl Club. I met a girl and I really thought she liked me. I truly thought that I had met the one. It was a fail to no avail. I'm just another victim of the Bad Girls Club. She's like a witch, cause her spell hypnotized me. She made me drink a potion just to fall in love. It was a drug, crazy of her love. I'm just another victim of the Bad Girls Club. She's always hitting on my phone. I really wish that she'd leave me alone. I had to change my number, hard for me to slumber. When she's outside my door, she called the cop and made it seem like I was mean. She's not your average she's not your average lady. She's fucking crazy. Spelled C-U-N-T. And after all, the rise and fall, I'm calling it quits. I'm calling it quits right now. This time we're playing games and all we do is fight. Is on and on, yada yada yada, opposite free. All the bad girl come sing with me. The love, the drug, falling in love for love. She's another victim of the Bad Girls Club. But if I'm saying this, I'd rather sing one of my favorite verses from Falling in Verse. It comes from the song Fashionably Late. I got nothing to do with how you look, just another excuse to ride a hook. I'm letting you know, she liked my post up on my Facebook. And after all, you're not my type, but all your friends are pretty, you know. I understand why you're mad, don't talk that crap when you call me back. As a matter of fact, don't act like that. Everybody knows you're right, everybody knows, sing along. 9 o'clock on the dot, 10 o'clock, and I'm hanging with your friends again. If you can tell me the name of the song, I'll be very proud of you. I'll give you a hug. And I'll tell you that you're a good girl or a good guy. More so a good girl, because if I tell you a good guy, it's kind of weird. Anywho, so Falling in Verse played a part, but when I was in depression, it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. So I started listening to a band like Immediate Affliction. Immediate Affliction, which was screaming and it was sad, and I would cry. I would cry my heart out. I remember listening to a song like The Ocean Take Me. I remember listening to a song like Pittsburgh. It was phenomenal. Don't Lean on Me, Open Letter, Jack the Lake, which was crazy good. FML, Find the Lights, Encore. The truth is I'm fucked up, cause the truth is I'm fucked like you. I mean, Affliction, ladies and gentlemen. But I mean, the Affliction had this other problem. It was I was fucking crying, and I didn't want to cry, so I was like, holy shit, I cannot listen to that band. They're too sad. So I started looking for alternatives, right? And then something magical happened. I found Motionless, ladies and gentlemen, Motionless in White. Motionless in White, one of the most, if not the most influential song. So what is kind of cool is you're seeing evolution. You're seeing Fire That Punch, which is rock, classic rock, more so old style of rock. Then you're seeing System of a Down, which is very political, but rock also. You're seeing an evolution with Falling in Reverse, which had amazing instrumental. You're seeing an evolution to Amelie Affliction, which was mostly an instrumental. Then you're seeing another one where Motion in White, which had it was more than narrative than everything. And the thing with Motion in White was the song I discovered, they fucking changed my soul. My first song with Motion in White was freaking The Devil Knights, Fearless record, which is also the one that produced a lot of the. Thank you. A lot of the Heavy Affliction song. We had Break the Cycle, Forsaken, I Walk the World Alone. No sanctuary, no place for me to call my own. But it's time to break the cycle. Also, Put Me Down with My Faith since 2006. For so long is all I know. The crosses beyond the ones I told for so long. No one was listening. I take my time for this to run. I was working at Structube, which was a place where you load up trucks and more. The thing with Structube is it was amazing. You see, Finally the Punch was amazing because I would listen to the song for hours. Washington White was a band I discovered, and it's really sad because I'm gonna be dissing Falling in Reverse, but I really preferred Washington White because I feel like I've listened to Falling in Reverse for so long that I was kind of getting not annoyed with it, but kind of used to it. And with Washington White, it was a new band, but I didn't like the way it made me feel. If it's dead, we'll call it Abigail, America, Immaculate Misconception. I didn't like. I was in the metro, and I sort of got okay. So this is the heighten of a depression. This is the heighten of a mental state. See, the music, the work was a way for me to escape. It was a way for me to literally go out and have fun, and I would forget all my problems. All of my fucking problems were forgotten. Motion White. See, Falling in Reverse, I would still be sad, but I would be okay. I would listen to music and I would vibe out. I would go. Falling in Reverse, it was weird. I was in depression, but I remember when listening to Falling in Reverse, I would be the most social I've been. I would go to parties. I would go to job interviews. I would go to jobs. I would go to my father's house. I was extremely social. So, Falling in Reverse, the mixture between the sad song and the mixture between the good song and the happy song, kind of made me kind of forget about this. Motion White was, actively speaking, and I give you my word, was the emotion captor that were the biggest, right? The biggest. And of course, I had the past of listening to Linkin Park, 3 Day Grace, so that was really good. And it's fun because 3 Day Grace, you think about it, Linkin Park was a band and I like because it was popular. 3 Day Grace was a band and I like because I just like Adam Gauthier and his voice. And Motion White, the way it made me feel is I was very emotional, very it's hard for me to talk about because these are not good memories. It's hard for me to talk about because these aren't like, holy shit, I can't believe I got that. I can't believe I felt that. It's bad memories. It's not good. So Motion White, I remember being in the metro, and I sort of God, I remember feeling invincible. I would listen to songs like Break the Cycle, and I would look around me, and I would talk about how I'm better than everybody else. I felt this rage. I felt this absolute rage, and it wasn't a rage that was led by lyrics. You see, Motion White was about most of their song was about how I'm different, and because I'm different, I have to conform. But I'm like, fuck you, I'm not gonna conform. I'm gonna be myself, and it was about self-acceptance, which is something that I never had as a kid. So it was something new for me. But this self-acceptance came in the form of rage. I would be very angry, not angry at the world. I would still be nice with people, but I felt very angry. When I was alone, I felt powerful. I felt strong. I would go in the metro once again and say, yo, I'm me. Just acknowledge me. Just I'm fucking here. You're gonna be aware of me. You're gonna know me. You're gonna learn to know me or fuck you. You know, which was not a good mentality. Now, am I blaming emotions and white? No, I'm blaming the emotion that were repressed, that were enabled by listening to a song that knew exactly what I was talking about. So, emotions and whites made me very, very. I had my emotion in a way that I didn't like. And the funniest thing was, I was working again at Structube, and I was 2 weeks in on learning to discover them, and they took out Graveyard Shift, my favorite song. Hourglass that I have tattooed here. Hourglass, Soft, Queen for Queens, Necessary Evil, Eternally Yours. Those were bands, those were songs that I fucking loved, and I was like, holy shit, this is so good. But then I spent like a fucking half a year a minimum getting angry, and I was like, this is not something I like, right? So I went back home, and it's funny because I got fired from that job. So it's complicated. So there's nothing that has that thing to do with the video, but it's just a specification and just a precision. I was working at a job, and I loved the job, and I was one of the nicest guy to the boss, because okay, I'm one of the nicest guys to the boss because I treat him like everybody else was treating him like a boss. Everybody was lying to him. He was very soft. The boss was very, very soft, and you would hide in the truck and he would say shit, right? The reason why I was nice to him is because when you actually ask him, I was an agency employee making minimum salary. He was an agency worker making the minimum salary. He was making the minimum salary, yet he had all of those headache, all of that stress of being in charge, which wasn't fair, and I felt bad for him. So of course I was nicer to him. And then Christmas came, and Christmas was amazing because Christmas is the winter time when we receive one truck. So when I started in the summer, we were 10 people. When in the winter, we were one person. We were 2 people. Sorry, me and another guy, which Isaac. Isaac was a fucking good dude too, but I wasn't the greatest worker. Isaac was amazing. It was really good, and it's weird because if I was the boss, I don't think I would have kept me, but he kept me. So and then we had this. This was another part of my depression. It's complicated, but we're all coming full circle. The video is halfway done, promise. So what happened was, it's actually, I can't believe I'm going to tell this story, but after winter came, there was a lot of new employees, and then he kind of considered me. There wasn't any position. There wasn't any. There wasn't any position. There wasn't any title. But I was kind of his assistant manager, right? He would tell me, "Look, you guys are not working. Go warn them." And I didn't want to do that because I didn't want to have a authority position. I was like, dude, I'm not mature. I'm not mature enough to handle people. I'm barely mature enough to handle myself. How am I supposed to handle people? And it was like, and then there was a conversation how he regrets being nice to me because he thought he could trust me with being a boss. Maybe he saw leadership in me. Maybe he did. Maybe he did it because he saw potential. Maybe he just did it because it was easier. And I felt bad about him saying that. He regret being nice to me. Because that's something my father told me a lot. My father often, him being nice to me, him spending time with me was a privilege. And if I would do something bad, he would say, "Oh, I regret doing that. He didn't deserve it," which was rude, but I felt bad. So I kind of pushed myself to be authoritative, and I couldn't handle it. So I fell into depression. Now, this depression was a bit special. This was my second depression, but technically my first one. So you see, the first depression, the biggest one that I had was at 22 years old. Now, we're going all the way to 24 years old, right? 2 years. And again, I kept pushing the depression on the side. And I wouldn't acknowledge, I wouldn't allow myself to be depressed. Because I was a man, and I had to be strong, and I couldn't show emotion. And at 24 years old, it wasn't a new depression, it was the old depression that wasn't ill. So the first thing I did when I went home is I started listening to music, because again, it's a music video, right? Motion White wasn't doing it. Following Your Verse wasn't doing it because it wasn't. It was, to me, Following Your Verse is possibly better than. It's complicated because Motion Whites are, in my mind, they're extremely talented. Following Your Verse are possibly better because they have a wider range. But when you focus on metal, you focus on Motions and Whites. When you think about music, I think Following Your Verse is much better. But for metal, I think Motions and White is better. They even came with an album called Disguise, which was a masterpiece in my mind. Funny because one of their songs was Masterpiece. My mistake. Oh, we have 5%, so I'm gonna have to charge the phone. Okay, that's good. No problem. Give me a sec, I'll be right back. I'm not gonna press pause, just enjoy the nature corn. Nature corn is the way we do. Nature corn is the way for you. Nature corn is the way I do. Nature corn. And you anywhere but you. And I was fucking depressed, right? And it's kind of really funny because I would listen to a lot of sad song. I don't remember the sad song I would listen to that led me to everything, but at that time I discovered one of my favorite, if not my favorite, YouTube channel, and the YouTube channel was Mr. Satchel. So Mr. Satchel would go in and check out for the emo rap. I don't remember. I wish I knew which was the first one. I don't remember who it was. Fuck it. Fuck. I think it was Nine Tail with What the Fuck I'm Crying For, but I'm not sure. And I would listen to it in a row a lot. And I'd look at the channel that was creating the video. And the channel was Mr. Satchel. Mr. Satchel would spend his day, would upload a new video every single day, taking a song from sad emo rap, right, going all the fucking way, every single day to one of my favorite band, which was Nothing Nowhere, but we're not here yet. We got Nothing Nowhere, we got Guardin, and that's it. So we're pretty close to the end, actually. So Mr. Satchel was releasing every single day a video, and I found out bands like Nine Tails, I found out bands like Guardin, I found out tales like Little Wolf, this is how I found out about Lil Peep, Mr. Satchel, I swear to God. Oh, that's the one, oh my fuck, that's a song, Lil Peep. Yes, because Isaac at work, Isaac, the one I stayed with the winter with, the only other employees, was listening to Lil Peep, and he made me discover awful things, made me awful. I don't know the lyrics. This one also is at 5%. Shit. Okay, I have to hurry up. Okay, so long story short, I go in with Nothing Nowhere. I go in and find Nothing Nowhere, and Nothing Nowhere changed my mind. Nothing Nowhere is the rap that I love, which was Mac Miller. But the emotion of a metal band, he was singing song, and I felt so much because he was talking about unaliving, he was talking about inner pain, he was talking about the unavailability of people to listen to him. It was a lot of his music was based. Okay, I'm gonna kind of do it. Give me a sec.